Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Sweet Kitty Crafts. My name is Yolanda and I'm coming to you from the Netherlands. It's very hot at the moment and I get a ventilator here blowing some fresh air, so I hope it doesn't make too much noise. If you're a new viewer, I hope you like it here, I hope you subscribe and join the fun. I've got a crazy amount of subscribers at the moment. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with every one of you. I love you all, and thank you so much for returning and viewing this podcast. My schedule in podcasting is terrible, as is my hair. I look like I escaped from a Jane Eyre movie. Sorry for that. But yeah, it's just crazy over here. But let's not start whining. I finished my cowl. And it's lovely. I made it of my own hand-dyed fibers. So I showed you the pattern last time and I lost it. So I apologize for that. But it's very simple. It's made out of 2 strands. And the first section is 2 strands of color A. The second section is 1 strand of color A and 1 of color B. And the last segment is 2 strands of color B. And I will put it on just real quick, but it is hot, so I'm not going to keep it on. I love how it turns out. You can wear it as a cowl, but if it's getting colder, and this is not blocked, but all the ends are sewn in, you can wear it as a sort of capelet. So it's very soft. The top one is merino. So this is the softest, and the other one is just virgin wool, which is a little bit coarser but not scratchy. And yeah, when I'm gonna wear this, it's gonna be cold outside, so I won't feel it on my arms or anything like that. So this is a very quick knit, and if you want to know the pattern, please look at my previous podcast, because I showed you the pattern over there. So I didn't do that crazy amount of spinning. I really put my spinning wheel away because I just couldn't stop. And I really wanted to start knitting sweaters with my hand spun, which I did purposely spin for. So I looked up some patterns, and the first one I'm going to show you is a drops pattern. And it is pattern, I'm gonna show you, and I forgot to bring stuff, so I'm gonna pause you in a minute and grab it from outside. This is drops 150/8, and this is the pattern. It's a cardigan with a little bit of lace at the top. It's a free pattern. All drops patterns are free patterns, so you can look it up. And this is how far I got. It's a bottom-up sweater, and you knit it separately, the body and the sleeves, and then when the yoke starts, you're gonna put it all together. So this is really the body piece until the other underarm, and now I'm knitting the sleeve. So it's got a little bit of lace at the bottom. Yeah, this is really not showing. Sorry. So let's see, this is better. So a little bit of lace at the bottom, and this is my hand spun merino yarn I showed you last time with the crazy spinning I did. And I've got 1 sleeve not until the underarm, because I've got to do 1 lace repeat, one of these, before you're going to join them to the body. But I just wanted to knit the second sleeve and finish it at the same length, and then do the lace piece simultaneously. So this is the second sleeve, just a little bit, just the ribbing. That's not really ribbing, it's the lace part. So I'm a bit tangled, everything is tangled here, because I got a whole pile for you. And then the second one is Flaum, and Flaum is a paid for pattern. And I'm gonna show you. No, I'm not gonna show it. Yeah, I didn't print everything, but I did print some parts. So this is part of the pattern. So it's an open cardigan, and it's a real nice construction. You begin at the back neck collar and pick up stitches in all kinds of directions. And it's a bit shorter at the front than it is at the back. And I'll just see, there are pockets that are knitted in, and I thought that might be a nice construction. So it is Flaum, and yeah, who it is, it doesn't say here. I will put it in for you. I will put a link below to the pattern, because yeah, I'm not good at that. So here it is, and it is hot, and it is not a joy to knit on at the moment, but just keep going. So you start, let me see what's the right side, because that's the side you're probably interested in. This is my hand spun, so you start in the middle here. You knit to one side, then you pick up stitches and you knit to the other side. And then it's really kind of, I hope you can see anything of this. So this is the color, and you knit the bottom around to the front edges actually, and the front edge is really an extension of the collar, and this is 1x1 rib, and this is the fisherman's rib. So when you're at the right length, the next thing to do is I'm gonna put stitches on waste yarn for the pockets, and here is where the sleeves are coming. So I'm gonna finish the body first, of course, and then I will see how much yarn I've got left, because there are supposed to be 3/4 sleeves. I'm not sure that's what I like, but maybe it's gonna come to that if I don't have enough yarn. So I thought that was looking good. And then at the last moment I started the starting point from Joey Locatelli, and it says it's going to be a very big wrap, a blanket shawl, because it is a nice rectangle. And I thought I got a lot of acrylic yarn in I think it's DK or worsted weight, and I just thought, well, a blanket shawl, I'm gonna make a blanket, and then I used the bigger yarn, and it's gonna be bigger anyway. So the starting point from Joey Locatelli, and it is kind of squished up on the needles, and I apologize for that, but it is faster knitting than using a real long circular needle, because you waste a lot of time moving the needles. I think the dog is dreaming. It's coming weird sounds from. So this is how far I got, and I think it looks amazing. I love the colors. It looks like a painting on screen. I love it. So you're supposed to make 2 identical ones, and I did, and I have, but I'm working on this one at the moment because they're getting bigger, of course. And this is gonna be my starting point blanket. So this is clue 3 I just started with, and it is the red yarn. So there's a lot of knitting to go. I can knit all one clue if I do a lot of knitting in 2 days. So in a weekend the clues are starting to come out at Friday. So I'm a bit behind because I was working on other things. Who doesn't? And I think there are 4 clues, so we're getting there, and I'm really anxious to see how everything's turning out. So love that. And I really like the combination, and I didn't have to buy anything. I really want to cut down on my stash. There's a strand of yarn coming from my living room, and it's stuck somewhere. No, there's no kitty on the end. Usually is, but they're kind of melting at the moment because it's so warm. Crazy warm. I did dye up some yarn, and I'm going to put it in the shop real soon. But I wanted one of the skeins and to use it for an example. So this one I dyed with only speckling, and the way I speckled was I put my pre-soaked yarn on a baking tray, And then I used the dry powder on a little brush, and I dipped the brush in the powder, and then I just slashed it on my finger, and that way it speckled, and well, it was nice. And this is what it became, and I love this. Look at the socks. This is gonna be a sock, yeah. And I was trying out a new little circular knitting needle, and it is the Sock Wonder from Adi. And the wonder about this little thing is because the little circular needles have really tiny points, and Adi thought, yeah, that is not so nice to knit on, because you need one end is a little bit more longer, and that makes a whole lot of difference in the comfort of the knitting. So if you can see, I hope you can see, yeah, you've got a short needle and a longer, and it works great. The only disadvantage is Adi only makes it in 2.5mm, and that is a very pity, because a lot of knitters use 2.25, use 1, and they don't have that. So I don't care, I love it. So this is gonna be new yarn in my shop real soon. Socks. Yeah, more stuff to show you, because I really wanted to do a stash down, and I saw a lovely pattern from, it's a Bayford pattern, Kainen's Cove by Isabel Kramer, and one of her test knitters made this one in only, or not in only, in a lot of colors, and I had a lot of colors, and they were all Drops Cotton Light, which is a real affordable cotton acrylic yarn from Drops. And I just thought I had a lovely selection of colors, which I really loved, and I'm just looking at my sample card right now, and I put it on here, and I thought, there, that looks great, doesn't it? But when you squint your eyes, and this is about value, this is really light, and this is going to be a blob of color in only the same value. And that is not really nice to look at. So this is really going to pop out, and this is going to blend in together. So I looked up another color, and I had more. So I put in another light color. And I think this will look more pretty, because you got two light values, and I'm getting real hot. I'm sorry. So I did a little sample card, and that really showed me yeah, what could be better. So I've got a nice little bowl here, and this is where all my little balls are in. So this is the colors, and here is the sweater. And I'm a bit annoyed because I was not sure about how the construction worked. So you begin at the back, and then you knit the shoulder, and I should have known this was the center of the shoulder line, and then I should have put the colors backwards, but I did not. I just kept going, and then we had to pick up for the back and the sleeves and the front, and then this happened. There's a color repeat here, and I really am annoyed by that, and I really was thinking about, should I rip this out, because I feel some OCD coming up. But if you look at the pattern, I'm not sure you can see, but this is a grey-white striped sweater, and she's got a blue line just to break things up at the waist. And yeah, I'm not going to rip it out. If I'm going to rip it out, I'm not going to start all over again, because there are a million ends to weave in with every color change, and I'm weaving them in as I go. And the only thing I have to do later on is put this in a needle and weave it 2 stitches and then cut the yarn. So that is doable, and it is for the stash down, so it's gonna be looking great, good, I think, great. Yeah, I love the colors. It's very bright, and it's cotton acrylic, so it's more spring thingy. Gonna do a little bit of a sip for my drink because I'm really getting hot now. So, the next thing I'm going to show you, no, that's not the next thing. I bought myself knitting needles. Yeah, why not? We all don't need those, don't we? So I did try and buy one needle at my local yarn store. And these are the Sing Pros, yeah. Yeah. Now I'm confused. Knit Pro Zings. The heat is getting to me. And I bought a full set. I'm not in love with the casing, but who buys it for the casing, right? And then I want to show you the difference between the Knit Pro Zing and the Knit Pro Royale, because I really don't like these. And I'm going to show you why. And I don't know if this is a mistake or what, but I so dislike that. These needle tips are really nice and smooth. I'm going to put it in front of my face. And if you're going to look at these got a hole in the needles, in the needle tip, and I'm not sure if you can see that. But there is a hole. And if you knit, that just drives me crazy. Because it's an extra yarn. Not bad, but I can feel it. And I don't want to feel this. I just want my needles smooth, without any holes. So I have no clue why they got holes. And these, the Royales, are metal with wood. Sorry, that's the metal with wood, and these are just metal needles. And I love them. And it's a lovely case. They were not cheap. What is cheap? I'd rather buy something that's a bit more expensive, which I really know I will kind of like and kind of use. And it's got a flip over thing. And here are the accessories. And one thing I just was disappointed about, and what they really always do, I used some of these needles, but when I put them all back, it's filled up. And I like to have more needle tips, because sometimes there are some sizes needle you need more of, because I'm not working on one project. I like to have a few on the go, and that would be great if there was room for extra needle sizes, which is in here, but this wasn't the deluxe set. This was just a basic set of, I think, 4 sizes, and I bought one extra. But that's just the way it goes. I'm gonna grab my next things and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I did do a little bit of spinning, so don't believe me if I say I didn't do anything, but I did. And this is Dutch Wool Diva, and it's a braid from her club. I just bought it in her store because she lives quite close to me. This is a 2-ply, and it was not possible to spin it as a woolen spun because it just wouldn't draft that way. There were some luxury fibers in there, and I'm just gonna say something, but I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna say it. And I did spin up, I think, 600 grams, and I made it a worsted. And I think it is even bulky yarn. I've got 4 of these, and I'm not thinking about knitting it anytime soon. It really has to cool down, but I love it. Can't even remember after this short time. I think I made it 3-ply. I did. So, lovely tealish blue color. It looks real blue, but it's not. It's a little bit more greenish blue. So this is what I came up with. And lovely. I love it. And then I bought a child loom last year. I think September, and I started a project on it, and then we changed our room, and I really didn't have any room to store the thing. But I thought, yeah, let's dig it out. I'm watching Wool and Spinning from Rachel, not gonna say her name because I'm not sure. And she bought a loom, and there are just such gorgeous things happening there. So I digged out my child play loom, and I finished my scarf. And that's the nice thing about weaving, actually. It doesn't make you that warm. So here it is. I washed it this morning and it dried in no time. And I used Drops Fable for this. It's a self-patterning sock yarn. And it is quite long. And it is a real nice scarf with fringes on the edge. So I was thinking real hard if I needed a new loom. Do I? I ordered an Ashford Richard Haddle loom, and I'm not sure. I'm happy, but did I really need a loom? I love this though, and I really think it's gonna be a great use for using hand spun and making projects. I think placemats, table runners, I can see things happening. And I got tons of ideas. But do I need one? I don't know. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm sure of it. So this is it is a wash now. There are weaves, ends, and I don't have to weave them in because it is woven in as you go, and then you just snip them off. So this is gonna be nice. My son already thought, well, it's going to be something for me, and it might. But yeah, it's going to be under a coat. But you can also wrap it around just like a normal scarf. Yes. But this was very curious to see, because that's what happens when you're a beginner. This end I began about 9 months ago, and then I just started and go, and this thing I ended yesterday, and it's a difference in size, but it's only at the beginning actually, because over here it's getting quite consistent. But who's complaining? It's my first scarf and it's woven. I love it, and it goes real fast, much faster than knitting. And who doesn't hate to knit scarves? I do, because it's boring. And this isn't. I love it. I'm just looking on Marktplaats. That's what it's called over here. It's a second hand where people can sell their stuff. And now I'm looking for weaving shuttles, and I found some, I want to say ancient ones, but I don't know, ancient. They're antique, almost antique. Well, vintage, that's the right word. And I just made a deal with a guy. I just bought 3 ancient shuttles with some extra spools, so I'm gonna be happy. Bought a bobbin winder on eBay. I made a good deal on that, so just scratching here and there to make my set complete, and I'm really gonna enjoy that, I know. And yeah, so I bought the 60 centimeters. I really was debating about 40 or 60, and 40 would probably be enough, but I think you buy something, you want to do it for a long-term thing. So I'm like making placemats and napkins and things right now, but in the future you got a whole house full of those stuff, and I just was really thinking about making cloth for clothing. I was a seamstress. I probably am, but I haven't sewn that intensively for a long time. But I did study to be a seamstress and did not fail. I just I made lots of clothing for my sons. When they were little, I practically made all of those clothes. And I did make a lot of me for myself, but I've got I've got phases, and then spinning came and the sewing machine went to the background. But Now I can combine stuff if I make cloth for a blouse. And what I was talking about, the size of the loom. If you're size S, you couldn't get away with the 40 centimeters. But I'm XL, XXL, and I'm pretty tall, so 60. And then you always gotta have a seam in the middle, because yeah. But it's no problem. There are tons of clothing patterns with asymmetrical and pieces sewn together, and you can combine fabrics and even knit on colors and ribbings, hems that would look amazing. There are lots of things you can do. The only thing is, I hope I have enough hours in one day, but it stimulates the brain and it keeps you motivated to start new things, so I think it's going to be fun. So I think you're gonna see not a lot of new things in the future. Failures probably, but that's something everybody can learn from. And I hope I showed you everything. I think I did. So I'm gonna say goodbye from you now. I hope to see you soon. And thank you all for watching. And there won't be a regular schedule, but I will pop in as soon as I can. See you next time. Have a lovely week. Bye bye.